I was going to do a little video here of the wiring, how it all turned out and some of it. So I mounted the Switch Pro, obviously up here in the front. There's a few spares left. Radio, intercom, everything down there. The battery, original post there, still used for the grounding. Still using the original post down there, the red one in the middle for most of the connections for the battery stuff coming up. Had this whole thing apart, it was a lot easier to get to it. You can see I ran some wiring up here alongside the factory wiring. I got the horns down in here, one on each side. Got it left right here for the future front bumper light. Got the lights put on here, so I can run this off my phone. I got these set for wig-wag, so they're kind of alternating back and forth. I've also got them set up just to be on. Got the horn set up. What else? We got a button for the dome light. It's dimmable. It's got 3 settings. If you hold the button down, it'll go through the dimmable settings. Got the rear lights on. That will be my amber with both of my whips. And that's going to be the switch for the reverse light, work light, whatever you want to call it. Won't be hooked up to the actual reverse of the car, just be manual. I was able to get the turn signal stuff to work. Okay, if we go and turn on the car, I kept the speed key, the winch, and the hazard, and the turn signal. And then I added this one for this gauge. The switch down there dims it up and down. But anyways, I got to mount this still. If we use the turn signals for the car, they work the car, obviously. I'm only turning left, but they also work the light bar. So I just tapped into a plug that was right here and put my own plug on it and ran it across and in and did all the wiring. Obviously the bed's not on here, but if the bed was on here, you'd probably be seeing those lights blink too. And obviously that's just left turn. Anyways, getting the dash apart and all this stuff was a little bit of work. It's kind of why I wanted to put this video together to help somebody. You got to get all these screws in here, but then underneath there's a few screws that you have to reach up underneath here and almost do blindly. Then you got to take the whole steering tilt system apart from back in there, that one back there, and where it attaches over here. You gotta let the steering wheel drop, which will let this box drop, and then on each side of the dash there's a screw here and one over here on the other side, right over in here, and you can only get to those when this box drops completely out. I actually left this one out on this side on purpose. I don't care, it doesn't seem to be loose and it's gonna make life easier. I was gonna leave that one out, that one's a little bit easier to get to, but you still gotta do the whole thing practically. Now getting all the rest of these panels off that you see, the side panels that go right in here, in order to get those off, you actually had to pull off this other rocker panel, whatever, lower rocker panel cover. And then it allowed you to get to the last bolts that were holding on this panel that was in here. A lot of it you got to get if you want to get to something, you got to go further than what you want in some cases. It's not too bad out front, to be honest. But with that dash off, it definitely made all the wiring easier for what you can't see now. And I'll show a few photos, but most of the stuff I just wrapped up and tucked up there. I got some of the factory switches bagged over here that I'm not going to use. I pulled out. There's a bundle there. And then there's another couple that are up on top over here. These cars are already pre-wired for everything, and I just tried to clean some stuff up that I'm not going to use at all. Didn't want it in the dash. Now for the fun one. I'm sure there's a few of you that already done this, but in order to get that whole center console out, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Got to pull that bar off there. There's a few screws on this thing down at the bottom, but it doesn't just lift up straightforward and easy. It really takes some finagling to get it out, even when you remove all these screws. I was able to get it up. I couldn't get that knob off of that handle, so I couldn't slide it up and over and get it completely out of the way, which was fine, no big deal. There's a couple of plugs in here for these two, the USB and the cigarette lighter. You can kind of reach in there and get those or wait for it to come up. Then I had plenty of room on top to run some wires that come back here for all this stuff that I mentioned on the back bar. One thing I did over here, and I'm not sure if this is the same for all of them, but obviously this is a Diablo, is I cut this piece of plastic right here. You can see where I cut it. The reason I cut it there is because in order to get this all out and over, you have to undo all this piece. Well, when you take this cover off, there's 4 screws that hold the tray, the storage tray, easy to get. But then I found out that in order to get the rest of this plastic out, the fuel cap and filler is going right through this whole plastic assembly. I wanted to be able to get this out, move it over to the side so I could get to the side of the battery on that side. Batteries are kind of a pain in the ass to get to, the electronics on the side, the relay, take your battery in and out, all that, without being able to separate this. So I'll end up putting a plate over that seam, a little rectangle shaped aluminum plate, drive some screws in there. I don't even think it makes a difference. But by doing that, if you just take a few screws off that are on the other side and this cover, there's not much, and you can peel that whole thing off to the side and get to everything a lot easier. Not sure that's going to work with the El Jefes or the Bandits, but it works for the Diablos. Basically, that's one of your access panels, and then there's another one over there in the Diablos. I don't know about the El Jefes. I've had a couple Diablos now in front of me, but I haven't gone that far on any El Jefes. The way this works with the 2 batteries is you got the factory battery back here that runs a big power line up to that red connector or red post you saw over there. What I did is I put in a marine switch here, whatnot, where it's off, turns my front battery on, or if I put it down here, it combines both the back battery and the battery in the front. So by turning it on like that, I'm not turning the back battery on, but I'm turning on anything that's powered up here off my Switch Pro. Now once I start the car and the car is running, I can actually turn it to all, and now everything is connected. And the alternator would be charging both. Reality is, you wouldn't turn this on until after you've already started the car in most cases. But if I wanted to sit down, listen to my radio, run any of my stuff off the Switch Pro, I don't have to have the button to the car on. I can, utilize that, and then obviously that battery in the front is probably a stronger battery than the one in the rear. That's the way I did it for now. I'm not sure if anything will change, but I'm going to see. It seems to be running fine. Been starting to stop in the car, backing it out of the garage. That's about it. Last thing I was going to say here is this is your friend. I would highly recommend getting one of these. There's a tremendous amount of fasteners for all these panels I've been showing you. They're all almost identical. They use the same 5mm. It's just there's a couple that are longer than others. There's one or two in the dash that are slightly oval in the back, but the same drive. and then you've got all the skid plate ones over here. I would, again, just taking it apart made things a lot easier. Going back together, I like to start things by hand and then eventually maybe use the electric tool to tighten them down all the way, but was a great help.